Just because you're a photo booth rental service doesn't mean that the only thing that you can rent are photo booths. So we have a client who has an event coming up, 2 days in a row, 2 different events back to back. They don't need a photo booth, but what they do want is the room, the space to be elevated through lighting. So they contacted us to see what we can do to help them out with lighting because they are familiar with what we've done with the photo booth activations in regards to lighting. So Uplights, they are massively dramatic changes to the environment in the room when you use them, and it's a great way to add on. The point is, find those things that can connect to your photo booth business that aren't necessarily photo booth, that might be able to stand on their own. You're gonna make more money when you use them with the photo booth as an upsell, but you can also make more money by selling or renting that service on its own. So tomorrow I'm gonna go in there and I'm going to do an uplighting treatment, but I'm gonna let you guys in on it because it's very important to see all the things that you can do in addition to your photo booth or your core offering that's gonna allow you to generate revenue. So this is the venue, and I finished the meeting with the client, and the client explained some of the things that they want and don't want to have happening with the lighting. I'll give you a rundown. So this whole wall is going to get lit. That wall is going to get lit with the exception of the bar. We're going to light it on the vertical beams, and then that whole wall over there is going to get lit, which is nice. It's a black wall, so it's going to really show nicely, and then nothing has to happen back here. So this is the lighting kit that I am using today. It's a small road case with wheels, and it's, I don't know, maybe a little less than 2 feet by 2 feet by just about 4 feet long. And inside it are all of the wired uplights that I use for an event like this. Also got a couple other little things, but yeah, we got quite a bit of uplights, so we're gonna use it to light the room right now. So hang with us. When you get into the uplighting game, you're going to realize that there's a whole lot of variety, from really inexpensive ones to really, really expensive ones. On the more expensive end, they're going to be battery powered, they're going to last a long time, they're going to have wireless, DMX, a whole lot of great features. On the lower end of things, you're still going to get a lot of great features sometimes, but one of the biggest things that you're going to lose is the battery powered. So if you're starting out, get the ones that got a cord. Who cares? You can pick them up on Amazon, some really decent ones for about $40 a light. So I have right now the ones that I'm using today. I'm not going to be here at all to change any batteries if I need to, which I shouldn't because they last really long. But just to be safe, I'm going to use wired. Now check this out. This cable, every 8 feet has a plug. Every 8 feet, there's another plug. So for a situation where we're going to be setting up 40 plus lights, yeah, something like this is required. Again, Amazon. So the plan is to run my wiring before I put the lights down, just to make sure that I have everything in place, making it safe and neat, fixing any issues like this one that I realized was going to be an issue. So I quickly picked up the cable and put it behind these pillars like I should have. So I've just finished putting lights all around the perimeter and every place that I want a light to be plugged in. I've run the cabling, and it's quite a good cabling strategy that I've run. I've run a single 8 outlet down here, connected it to a little 3-way splitter, and ran 2 of them out of it down there. Out of the ground, I did the same thing as I did here. I have 2 running all the way down there, and then 1 along that end wall. So I've got 1 cable on each wall, 4 cables on the wall. So we'll see if that's enough to get happy. It is a little difficult to see because it's not quite dark out yet, but you can get a glimpse of where these lights are and how far apart they're spread, what their effect is going to be like when it gets darker. Next, we got a light at every one of these posts. The cable is managed very nicely and neatly as to not be seen. We got them behind the stage. I'm going to get them to tighten up the blinds a little bit there so that the lights can cascade up properly. And then you see over on this wall, which has a very cool pattern to it. Again, cable management done very neatly. And lights evenly spread, and we've even gone so far as to make sure that the lights on this side are in line with the lights on that side. So we have symmetry. And now that the party is underway, you can see that the Uplights really did have a dramatic effect in the way that the room was transformed. If you're using them at a photo booth event or at a gala, it is always a great way to generate additional revenue for your business. And there are more.